When the kingdom began to tremble and the wounds came into the light, sin brought deep division and pain spread through the night. The house that God had raised now cried in silence and fear. But even in the middle of crisis and falling, the voice of the Lord was still near. For God never abandoned the story that He began. Even when mankind fails, His grace still stands. Between tears and losses, God continues to speak. For even in the middle of crisis, He still restores the weak. Between rebellions and promises, God remains faithful still. Even when the earth is shaking, His mercy comes by His will. When the people lose their direction and the heart begins to fall apart, the grace of God remains there, ready to restore the heart. Absalom lifted his voice and the kingdom split in two. A son against his father, and Israel was torn through. David wept for his son, even through battle and pain. For a broken and humble spirit still seeks the Lord again. And when the sword brought judgment and the people began to cry, David raised an altar and surrendered once again on high. For when someone humbles their heart, heaven begins to respond. And the God who corrects the pathway also makes it strong. Between rebellions and promises, God remains faithful still. Even when the earth is shaking, His mercy comes by His will. When the people lose their direction and the heart begins to fall apart, the grace of God remains there, ready to restore the heart. And raise an altar in the middle of crisis, lift a cry to the Lord. For the God who brings correction also restores with love restored. For His mercy is greater than any pain we endure. And the God who sustains history still reigns forever secure. Between rebellions and promises, God remains faithful still. Even when everything seems lost, hope comes from heaven's will. When a person returns to the altar and chooses again to believe, the mercy of God descends and restoration begins to breathe. And the story of David reminds us, even in seasons of crisis and pain, the God who corrects His people also heals hearts again.